Hello again. Okay, I'm about to test the new controller. So this is version 2, which uses an Arduino Nano and a relay case, or sorry, a relay board on the bottom. The new case design is currently a 4-piece. So there's a middle section which houses everything, a bottom half that holds the relay board in, a top collar that locks the Nano down, which as you can see still needs a little bit of work. And then there's going to be a case that goes over that. And I think the way I want it to finish is that when it's all collapsed together, it's one smooth, solid piece or something like that. I'll have to mess around with it. But what's cool is, like, once I'm done with this, the same design should work for any of the controllers. So I can turn this into a boost controller, water injection controller, you name it. As long as I can get the signals in and out and control a 12-volt relay, depending on inputs, it's game on. So the first test is gonna go, I'm gonna plug this up to the wiring loom. And what we're gonna do is go back, apply pressure to the pressure sensor in the front of the car. And then I'm gonna hook my meter up from, I'm gonna have to do volts from ground to trigger circuit. And if I can get the meter to fire up and show 12 volts at the trigger circuit when the boost pressure is applied to the sensor, that means that the injection kit is working, because after it sees that 12 volts, it's just a relay and a pump. So I don't know, I'm gonna film it. Wish me luck. Hi. So I spent the better part of the back half of the day, trying to get this thing to work. So just to recap, this is an Arduino Nano, which is powering a Arduino relay board. And I need the relay board to be able to power up the automotive relay. The Uno didn't have enough juice, neither does the Nano, to power the relay coil, and it just burned it out. So now they have the board in there, it should have the juice to create a pathway for power to control the relay board, or to control the relay, this one right here. So the Nano's job is to send power to the relay board sends power to this relay, all to be able to close the relay to power on the pump. It's not a super difficult process, but for whatever reason, the power supply at the Nano is stopping. So there should be, let's see if I can pop this off with one hand. There should be continuity between these two pins when the thing is triggered with a 5-volt, like over here. I've got 5 volts. I just turned it on with the program to see, and no matter what I do, I can't get a good connection. Check the trigger jumper, checked everything. So I'm gonna take this home, make sure the board itself isn't bad. I did manhandle it a bit, trying to mess around with the case. So I'm gonna make sure the board's not bad and just do some light reading and make sure I'm not missing anything. But that's it. I mean, the rest of the circuit's pretty straightforward. The pump comes on pretty much every time I command it to, from the Nano, that is. Like, it sees the voltage. Like, everything's working just up to this last little bit. So once I get that, it should just work. So yeah, kind of a crappy update, but it's all part of it. We'll get there. Okay, so I got it so far. I was not able to get the signal out of the Arduino. I need to show 12 volts at the signal wire here, this purple and yellow wire. That 12 volts represents the relay coming on, and I had to troubleshoot the module I created a bunch. So it turns out on the relay board, you can't power the device with 5 volts, you power the device with 12 volts. I'm sure it's written somewhere, I just never got it. So now when I plug the device in, it immediately turns on the signal, and that's because I have the trigger voltage at 1. So I'm going to turn the trigger voltage back at 3, which is on that map sensor, the Honda map sensor. That's about 1.5 pounds, 2 pounds of boost. And then I'm going to go to the front of the car. We'll first assemble the system, go to the front of the car, and then apply boost at the map sensor, and then the pump should turn on and spray water. So this is the first test. Actually, this is like the 7th test. So okay, here we go. All right, test a lot. here's the line. I have it sitting out of the car right now just so I don't spray it into a non-running engine, which would be bad probably. I've got my boost source. This is going to take place of the turbo. The car is on, so it doesn't really care whether it's running or on, which if you're paying attention is a little scary, but let's give it a shot. I'm going to pressurize it, and if it works, I should see fluid out of the hole. You can see power out of the hole. Oh, wait, we're good. No power supply. All right, let's give it another shot. Hold on. Okay, power is hooked up. Try again. Pressurizing. Ooh. Here's something. I hear it. Come on. So the pump is definitely running. I don't know if it's got to pressurize or what. Oh, come on. Okay, so you can hear it hopefully. The pump is turning on when the boost pressure is applied, but I still don't have any flow. So I got to figure that out and figure it out and then get back to you. Okay, I had the pump routing backwards, shockingly. Thought I took care of that, guess not. So I corrected it. Had a small seep from one of the fittings, which I think I got with some pipe tape. That's an easy fix if it shows back up, but the big one is, does the system even work at all, ever? We're about to test again. All right, so boost source hooked up, put a nozzle on it so it doesn't just dump water, it'll spray a little. Tank's hooked up, everything's hooked up. So and now the pump's not turning on. Okay, I don't think I was giving it enough juice. I turned the camera off, squeezed it harder, and I heard the pump kick on. So let's make sure I give it enough. Watch for the nozzle. Okay. Oh. System off. Okay, so I just ran the system. Just did some like real basic little, low boost pulls, especially since the gate's at 5, so can't really do a high boost pull right now. The meth is turning on, or the water. I don't have any methanol in the system right now, but the water injection is turning on, and it cools the charge, but it's too slow. It's either latency or jet size or jet angle. There's a couple reasons, and I'm gonna mess with them. I'm gonna get the system working perfectly. This was really just to see if I could even get it to work, and now that I know it's turning on and working correctly, I'm gonna go back and change a few of the things that I didn't like about it, starting with this. So in theory, this was a good idea, running the pump on the tank. It wobbled around, and then it also made the tank really bulky, which it's already super heavy with water in it. So you're taking the tank out and you're sitting there freaking out wondering if you're going to damage any of the electrical components, and it just makes it not fun. So I've pulled off the bracket, and I'm going to pull the relay off, and what I'm thinking is I want to do the pump. It's hard to see. I'm going to do the pump like right here, and then the module and relay somewhere around here. We have a new battery that we're going to be doing for remote location, because we are going to go to front mount pretty quickly. I mean, right away, actually. So we're going to have the battery there, and I have a lithium-ion battery coming. We'll see. The lithiums work really well. I haven't done one for a relocation, so I don't know if the distance is going to cause any problems for the starting of the car. These cars are held together with lots of glue, and it doesn't make the best circuit. So right now I only have the one power cable, but the question is, with the lithium battery, which is at like a 14.7, or it rests at like 13.8, 14 volts, is that going to be enough juice to push the required like 200 amps through the chassis of the car on the ground side? And the answer might be no, in which case I'm going to have to run a ground cable front to back, which is annoying, but not a huge deal. So yeah, the plan is to keep cranking away on the meth kit, get the pump a little bit more locked in permanently, and once that's in, I'm going to switch up how the jets work. I'm going to take because we're going to change the intercooler piping anyway, and I think I'm actually going to move the jets from the intercooler piping to a custom intake on the turbocharger. This turbo is a sleeve bearing type, and it has no coolant passing through the journals, which is pretty common. People run them all the time, but you're turning your turbo into a superheater for your oil when you do that, which again, it's just industry, how people have been doing it forever. It's not a huge deal, but if you can cool the turbo off, you can potentially not only cool off the charge at the turbo, which means I'm not fighting latency of the heat soak, but you're also cooling down the center section, which then cools the oil. It's just tricky because, well, I don't know. I'm not sure why you don't typically see it on the intakes. I'm sure I'll figure it out. But so yeah, I'm gonna run the jet on a custom intake. I'm gonna relocate the pump in the relay, and I'm gonna tidy up the wiring and prep for battery relocation. Once the battery works, it's on to the front mount intercooler again. And yeah, so good test. I'm proud of myself for getting that done, and get back to you when I got more.